Hey guys,
Welcome.
weekend in review again. And it felt like a slow weekend, but looking back at it, I think we got quite a bit accomplished.
Did feel slow, but we still got some stuff done.
Yeah, I think it felt slow.
It felt long too, kind of.
Yeah, it did. Friday, of course, Todd works. I have the day off, and I needed to get all my pumpkins done because I was late on the holiday dessert collaboration.
The Two Family Homestead.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't checked that out, go over to Two Family Homestead's channel, and they have a playlist of all the amazing holiday desserts that everybody has been contributing to.
We'll link it right up there for you.
And my contribution was preparing pumpkin puree for pumpkin pies. But while he was out, I picked up the phone. Well, I'll tell you what I did. I have been wanting to tape and measure the pigs to see about how much they're going to weigh. And I did that finally. I went out to my girlfriend's house and she had all of her fall decoration, pumpkins, gourds, corn stalks, extra straw bales. So I went and picked all that up, came home, gave the pigs a big treat. So they were being super still. So I taped them, came inside, and I measured them with the actual measuring tape because I just used hay bale twine to measure the distance. And I called him at work. I said, hey, you want to do some math with me? What do we get?
Yep. So the pig taping, you go from their ears to their tail and then around their chest, right behind their. You plug it into this formula and it tells you how much your pig should weigh on that given point in time. And we had small pig was 270, 274, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And big pig was
exactly 300 pounds.
Wow.
Of course, that's live weight, and then it takes you through the hanging weight calculation. But in total, and I don't know how accurate this estimation tool is, but in total, we should end up close to 400 pounds of pork in here in a few weeks. So that's super exciting.
Don't know where we're going to put it.
Don't know where. I either need to go down to the freezer and can more stuff out of the freezer to make space, or we might run into a situation.
We can always get another freezer, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we could.
You could add an upright.
Oh, I do want an upright freezer.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice.
So that pretty much wrapped up our Friday.
Saturday morning, I did not wake up feeling very creative regarding breakfast. I was Snapchatting Courtney over at Life on Beagle Road and looking for motivation, and the only motivation I got from her was peanut butter and jelly. So, not helpful, Courtney. So, I decided to just go ahead and whip up. I had some still frozen O'Brien potatoes from our potato harvest. Scrambled eggs, I think. And
with cheese.
Of course, with cheese. And some sausage gravy. And it fed our bellies.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
It was good. Oh, except when you threw in she used some of our homemade hot pepper sauce, and it's still pretty chunky. So she was getting the eggs all ready, and we were supposed to pour the hot pepper sauce, and a big chunk
it was
came up to the bottle and got stuck. She went one more time, and it went.
I was like, whoops.
So we had a bunch of little red flakes in our
But it wasn't
eggs.
too spicy.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
So I had some other plans for the bulk of the middle of Saturday on my schedule, but I got a call from a gentleman that I do some side hustle work for. Told me to come pick up a plow. We're off on the road this morning. The gentleman that my parents introduced me to, his name is Jack. He's about 84, 85. He's the collector of things. He goes to all these auctions and he buys stuff he doesn't even need. If he thinks he can make some money on it, he buys it. So I've been helping Jack out sell some stuff on Craigslist. He obviously doesn't do the internet at his age. So I go to his house every couple weeks. I take pictures of some of his stuff. I post it on Craigslist. People go to his house, they pay him, they take the stuff, and then he gives me a small commission. Or In the case of today, he gives me equipment. So he's got a nice single bottom plow that he's been trying to get rid of. I think we've had it for sale maybe for 3 months or so, and it still hasn't sold. So he's just going to give it to me. So we're on our way over there today to pick that up. So eventually it took quite a bit of finagling and actually 2 different trips to this gentleman's house, but we got the plow here. It's nice, it's really heavy, and I probably should have had somebody help me move this thing off of my trailer.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have that. There's lots of plans. Did I tell you all the plans for the plow? It's going to come in handy, like, though, when we want to rip the new blueberry rows.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, future orchard rows. We've needed a plow, and we haven't had one, so it's going to come in handy. While he was back and forth during that day, it was actually I felt amazingly warm outside. I think it was only like 37, but the real feel was like 40, 41. But the sun was out for the most of the early part of the day, and it felt glorious outside. So there were a few things that I didn't get finished before winter came, like big project type stuff. So we have this little small section of woods that sometimes you can see it when we're panning back from the back of the house in front of the paddocks. And we've not touched that hardly at all. And it's got like our raspberry bush grovish thing in there, but it's got all these saplings growing up in it, this huge evergreen juniper bush. And I wanted to get that all taken care of and managed back before winter. So I went out there and started working on that. Cleaned out all the dead raspberry canes, trimmed back the healthy raspberry canes. But somebody decided to hide the loppers on me, so I couldn't pull out the saplings.
Me.
So I still need to...
I hid them really well.
I still need to finish that project. And I didn't touch the big juniper bush just because I do harvest that for my Christmas evergreens. So I thought, I didn't tell you that. That's my plan. I'll trim back a bunch of it for Christmas. And then we'll be able to finish cutting it back.
Okay. So the pigs go to butcher in about 2 weeks. I've been doing some playing around with the garage, with my welder, doing some practicing, and Rachel convinced me, why don't we measure the goat fort and see if maybe the goat fort would fit in the trailer. So we did some measuring. Sure enough, it looks like it's going to fit. I'm going to have to do a little bit of shoring up just to make sure the front side with the piece of wood is kind of just held on with a couple zip ties, so we're going to have to reinforce that a little bit, but it seems like it'll work for transporting pigs, assuming we can get them in the thing when it's on the trailer.
They're already kind of used to it because, in all honesty, the goats really never used it.
Right.
It would have been fine. They just never used it. So we had left it in the pig paddock, and the pigs used it all the time. They loved it. So they're very familiar with the structure.
Right.
And what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks is every time I feed them in a different location in their paddock. So I move their feed bowl just so I can start training them to come to me with food. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of just, I don't know if it's going to work, but that's the plan. We'll start feeding them out of this thing over the next couple weeks. We'll make sure to do a video on that because I'm sure we're going to learn something.
I'm definitely sure we'll learn something. Yeah. So what I did in the afternoon was, in preparation for this, I wanted to get that shelter out of the pig pen, bring it up in front of the house, bring it to the garage on our trailer. That way I can do some work with it. So hauled the trailer in there. I had to cut about an inch off of each side of the wood structure to get it up in the trailer. Transported it around to the garage, and it's ready for me to do my thing now. I'm going to try to get it the beginning of this week coming up finalized and put back in the pig pen so she can work on trying to train them and familiarize them with, this is your place, this is your safe place. Right. Look, there's food in here. Come on into the trailer.
Yeah, as excited as they are about their food every morning, I'm picturing it not being a hard sell, but we'll see. There was a lot of disappointed faces Sunday morning. People are so used to coming down to a glorious breakfast.
I could smell it. I was in bed upstairs.
What?
I think it's bacon. Maybe she bought bacon.
I did buy bacon, but I didn't cook it.
And I came downstairs and there wasn't no bacon.
No, we were having guests over for lunch after church, and I needed to make some gumbo. And for anybody that makes real gumbo, you know it's quite the process. So I started the roux first thing this morning. Well, first I fried up the sausage, started the roux, got it going, and then it's got to cook for like 3 hours. So it turned out pretty yummy.
It turned out nice.
I also made my first ever loaf of French bread. I almost nailed it. I didn't get the seams quite right, but it was a good loaf of French bread.
The crust was very crusty.
But the inside was
And
chewy.
the inside was nice and chewy.
Mm-hmm.
You did a very good job.
Thanks, man. But, oh guys, so I think I've mentioned this before in my bread making video, that the bread maker that we have, it's what I always mix my dough in, and then I do the second knead and the second rise in the oven. But we got it at Salvation Army, and he comes down, and I'm busy, I'm not paying attention. He's like, that smells like it's burning. And I was like, does it? I guess I couldn't smell it, or maybe I was already used to the smell from being in the kitchen. And sure enough, no joke, it started smoking out the back end. I'm like, whoops, turn off. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's done. So, $5-10 bread maker from Salvation Army. Lasted us 3 years. Not bad. So we'll go look for a new used bread maker for the future.
Yep. And our lunch did turn out awesome.
Yeah.
It was very good. Our son brought his girlfriend over to meet us.
New girlfriend. So
She's new, but
we've known her.
from church.
Yeah.
And our son Nick, his girlfriend is also in town, Emily. She's visiting as well. So our Sunday afternoon was a whole lot of visiting, eating.
Yeah.
And
Your mom and dad came over?
My mom and dad came over this evening too, and surprise visited us with 6 empty egg cartons.
Oh yeah, that was nice. So I think we've officially trained them that they don't have to knock on the door. That if our cars are here, we are here, just come in. Because I think that they didn't feel comfortable before, but I think we've reiterated it enough times that Bonnie, Jerry, you know you can just walk on in. We love you guys.
In between some of our visits this afternoon, I did take a walk around the property a little bit, checked on the pigs, checked on the goats, because we did get some snow overnight.
It was beautiful.
And into the morning. It was one of those warm snows where all the snow sticks to the trees, and it always looks really pretty when it's like that. The goats didn't seem to be bothered by the snow at all. They were wandering around, curious.
Pigs too.
Pigs as well.
I think winter's basically coming. It's our third snow already.
Right,
so
right.
It's a little earlier than normal for us, so we should probably hunker down and expect a decent winter, I think. That was basically the weekend. Of course, you guys know Sunday then is football, so the Lions actually won, guys.
They did.
Wow. Amazing.
I was getting frustrated to the point where I said, I ain't gonna watch this anymore because they keep playing stupid. They stink up the place, I'm turning it off. And tonight was actually a pretty good game. I'm still not convinced, but
we'll give them a chance.
We'll give them a chance. It was entertaining to watch tonight. We'll give them that. I think we did miss one thing from Saturday, in that I finished up our cabin video.
Oh, you did?
The cabin shower video.
Yep.
So if you haven't seen that one yet, check it out. Coming up this week is Thanksgiving Thursday.
Yeah, so if you guys don't tune in to our Tuesday night live show because you're busy with Thanksgiving, we'll completely understand. But I want to wish everyone a super wonderful, awesome, happy Thanksgiving. If you will be with us, we are still planning on going live Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. And if we don't see you, we're thankful for you.
Absolutely. So you guys have a great week. Find 1,000 things to be thankful for. And enjoy your loved ones and the people that you're with. We're thankful for you guys. Bye.